Hi, folks. Chris Voss here from the Chris Voss Show.com. Hey, so we're coming in here with another top news of the day. We do this 5 days a week on the weekdays so that you guys can get the top news, or at least what we think are the top news of the Chris Voss Show and what my commentary is. So tune in for that. And of course, you just did. That's why you're watching this now, aren't you? So let's talk about the top 4 or 5 news stories that I think are really important today. One of the most amazing things that I've seen last night. I mean, I pretty much went on the assumption that there is no security, there is no privacy left anymore. It's pretty much gone, and the government had its way with it. I pretty much assumed that this was the way it was, but the balls out approach to this of the American NSA and the British spies is quite amazing, and it's been going on for a long time, evidently. So, well, it should be shocking. It isn't, but to the extent which we do it, it really is. Holy crap. So American and British spies, this comes to us from firstlook.org and lots of other websites if you're seeing it this morning. Basically, somewhere prior to 2010, hacked into the largest manufacturer of SIM cards in the world, and they stole the encryption keys that are used to protect the privacy of cell phone communications. Wow. This comes out from Edward Snowden. This is part of his big reveals. This is pretty mind-blowing. Basically, according to firstlook.org, the stolen encryption keys, intelligence agencies can monitor mobile communications without seeking or receiving approval from telecom companies and foreign governments. Possessing the keys also sidesteps the need to get a warrant or a wiretap. Now, if you're a lawyer or attorney, or if you understand law, you realize how wild and crazy that is. They don't need a warrant because they've already got your freaking access to your stuff. And basically, they can go in and they leave no footprints behind if they check your stuff. I mean, it's basically like giving someone a key to your front door and an invisibility cloak, so you'll never know if they were ever in your home whatsoever. And this key just will unlock, any service, AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, Sprint, over 450 wireless networks in the world. They have these keys for, so they can do whatever they want. Now, on one hand, I think it's great in stopping terrorists if there are terrorists that are out there. But the biggest problem is you have zero privacy, and they can come and go whenever they want. They don't need a warrant. They don't need a judge's approval to do it. And as in with all things of these sort of mannerisms, who watches the watchers? Who makes sure that they hold themselves up to the highest level of ethics? Edward Snowden talked about how people would take the private pictures they'd pulled off of the internet or off of people's webcams and joke and circulate nude pictures around the office, something of that nature. I don't remember the exactness of the story, but basically, your data isn't depicted as holy. These are human beings that are running the NSA, and I'm sure that they've got a few goofs that are going to be like, wow, let's take some nude pictures home of Mrs. XYZ and whatever goes on after that. I don't know. So this is definitely concerning with what's going on from the NSA, and the British agencies hacked this. Evidently, this began somewhere prior to 2010, according to the notifications that they have taken and put out. So there you go. If you're using your cell phone, don't expect to have any privacy. Next story we have coming up, Apple's going to fight iOS bugs with its first ever iOS public beta 8.3 in March 9 in summer. I argue with this with iSheep all the time. And iSheep I refer to are people that think that the iOS product and the Apple product is beyond infallible. I don't care if you buy an iPhone or whatever and you think it's okay. Great. But don't think the product's infallible. I hate people like that. That's just stupid. I don't think the Android products or the Samsung Galaxy products are infallible. So don't do the same to me. I just hate that mentality. And when you talk to them half the time, they don't know what they just think the phone is great, and they have no idea what that means. So Apple's going to fight this with iOS bugs. I'm glad they're waiting till March 19th, so the rest of you with brick phones can enjoy that. Until then, I swear to God, every year when the iOS updates come out, they just get buggier and buggier. I think it's been like, I don't know, 6 or 10 or 12 updates they've had to do immediately. I can't even keep track of all the different bug fixes they've had to do with iOS 8. And it definitely has some issues. So, what they're going to continue doing is just shipping without caring about whether or not the product works well. And they're going to let the public fix it because that's much easier to do that. Next up on the news items, Facebook, iOS, Android apps, they're going to add stickers to the photos that you can take and do now. And basically you can take and add the emoji stickers that you would normally find, and you can put them onto your photos. How about them apples? That's pretty darn cool. I've been seeing this kind of bounce around, and different users have been announcing that it's been turning on and off for them. So some people have kind of seen it, used it, and then it goes off again. You'll be able to see like a little icon on the bottom of your photo that you upload. I've kind of seen it once and then it disappeared on me. So I think they're just they're either rolling out the service or they're doing stuff with it. Who knows? Next up on the news front, how Walmart has basically come up with a small raise for the minimum wage on its workers, which is a pretty big deal. It's a $1 billion pay increase across all of its workers. And it's not much. I think it's like $1.75 or something of that nature. And they're going to make some other improvements to their part-time workforce so they can do things. I think this is really important. What a lot of people realize with Walmart is they force a lot of people to work part-time because they don't want to pay for benefits. And so they really have this huge part-time workforce, which is just really sad. I mean, really in America now, everything is geared towards Wall Street and investors, and no one gives a fuck about workers. That's basically it. And everything is about massive profits. You know, Henry Ford, back when he built the Model Ts, when they first came out, he realized that most of the people who were building the Model Ts could not afford to buy one. And they were, of course, trying to get the product sold and get it on the market. And of course, they were developing a market also at the time. And so he realized that what he needed to do was increase the pay of his employees so that they could buy the cars and so that the money could go around in an economic circle. And that's the most important point of how a great economy works, and why our economy isn't really working anymore and the rich get richer and the poor get poorer is because the top is hoarding cash, the corporations are hoarding cash, and they're fucking the American worker. That's basically it. I've been self-employed for 25 years. I've watched it. You know, their job, especially when you become a corporation that's endeared to Wall Street by their slavery or by their shackles, if you will. I suppose their money shackles. Then you get focused on what investors think, and you're just like, well, fuck the American worker. Let's go and lay off whoever, whatever, and do whatever. So I think it's a good step in the direction for Walmart. And of course, it's not one they probably took very voluntarily because they've been dealing with a lot of people protesting and everything else. So I'm not going to give you any kudos or awards. This is more late than what it should have been, and probably more money than these people should get. I've worked at Walmart. I haven't worked at Walmart. I've been to Walmart numerous times. I just take pity when I see most of the people there. They're asked to work just, they probably know more about their job than I know about my job, and have to do so many more things in their job just to make $9 an hour, whatever the sad case it is. But glad for them that at least they're getting more money. And, there's a lot of Walmart workers that live on welfare. I don't think this is going to get them off of welfare. So it's really time that these corporations that are making billions and billions, I mean, this costs $1 billion to do. You think Wall Street's going to notice or care? No, it's not. So there's that. Anyway, moving on to, I think the next news item that we have is the, I believe it's called the Silverfish or whatever it is, the Lenovo thing is still just wreaking havoc and people fighting against it. Microsoft has come out and said that they have updated their Windows update so that you can take and block the Lenovo, I believe it's Silverfish was the name of the tool that they had put on their laptops. And now it's just kind of wreaking havoc through everything. And so what's kind of interesting is, I guess Superfish is the name we're looking for. I guess Superfish is claiming that it poses no security risk, but everyone else in the world says it does, including Microsoft, who's updated a patch for it. So thanks for Lenovo for doing that. And the nice thing, I guess, about the update patch from Windows is it will, whether you have a Lenovo or other products, you'll be able to block it with the Windows update, I suppose. So there you have it. And Lenovo is still apologizing like there's no end to tomorrow, which it should. It's these companies really need to take a look at, okay, is greed serving our basis, or our customer security and interest securing their basis? And hacks like this, or issues like this with security, like the Lenovo thing, like the Sony thing, are really teaching companies that they should really listen to putting security first on behalf of their consumers and themselves, for that matter, because everyone gets hurt. So there you have it from the Chris Voss Show.com. Don't have any products to show you today. One thing I did purchase most recently that I love is my Canon 7200M, and this is the IS version. It's like about $2,000 or something like that. So I've been loving that product. So we'll give that product a plug. How about that? We always end the show with a product plug. Be sure to check into the ChrisVossShow.com often. Give us a like, subscribe to us on YouTube, and check into our daily podcast we'll be doing here with top news. And we're also going to be doing a news show of gadgets, kind of like a gadget showcase sort of thing. So be sure to watch for that. Thanks for coming by. Be sure to tune in often, and brush your teeth, because I saw a commercial on it.